We expected to hear the governor talk about a bill that would eliminate the state income tax, and that's what we heard. He started his speech by saying that 2024 will be a tough act to follow. Mike, just take us through that moment, and where were you inside the house whenever the tree fell? Jackson Mayor Chokwe Ontar Lumumba is indicted on 5 felony counts. District Attorney Jody Owens is indicted on 8 counts, and Ward 6 Jackson City Councilman Aaron Banks is indicted on 2 counts. They all pled not guilty this afternoon. I also noticed that some agency leaders couldn't tell how their organizations were structured, whereas they weren't making the proper decisions because they didn't have the data or the technology to help them with that. So how does this play into the audit? Now, what folks are concerned about is that the doors may not open again. However, the city announced this week that improvements could come sooner than expected. And right now I'm on the 2nd floor, and I want to show you this large brown spot outside one of the entrances where we are at. The state fire marshal's office reported human waste was up here about a month ago, and that's what this could be. If Wicker does become chairman of that committee, it could have a direct impact on the Ingalls shipyard in Pascagoula. As of 5 o'clock this evening, 718 ballots and 2 affidavits have been cast here at Brandon City Hall. And we've heard about all the possible damages that the storms earlier tonight could have caused. And well, right here, this tree on these homes tells the story. And I spoke with Mike Carroll, and he owns this home behind us, says he was upstairs whenever he heard the tree hit his home, and it actually fell through the roof. Byron, it wasn't a very long court hearing this afternoon. Callahan entered the courtroom handcuffed, wearing a Madison County red jumpsuit. Governor Tate Reeves delivered his State of the State address on the steps of the Capitol. He started his speech by saying 2024 will be a hard act to follow. Reeves discussed how the state always needs more money flowing through the state. He told Mississippians that he knows how to make this possible.
We must be at the front of the pack in the race to have more power. In today's world, power is the key to prosperity.
The economy is a frequent talking point, but Jim Rosenblatt found it interesting that the governor talked about power in his speech.
That was not a theme that was really spoken about 4 years ago, but now power seems to drive economic development.
Reeves stated that 2024 was the single greatest year for the Mississippi economy. He challenged every company to come build their products in Mississippi. He talked about how more than $32 billion has been announced for private sector investments since 2020.
This $32 billion is helping to create thousands of jobs for the people who live here. It's helping families fill up their gas tanks, and it's helping put food on their table.
The House recently passed an income tax elimination plan. House Bill 1 would result in an estimated $1.1 billion income tax cut for Mississippians in the next 10 years. The ultimate goal is to eliminate the income tax completely. Now he's calling on the Senate to pass the bill.
I urge our friends in the Senate to take action on this historic legislation. If there's something in the bill you don't like, let's talk about it.
Vice Chairman of the Senate Democratic Caucus, David Blunt, said abolishing the state income tax is irresponsible. He had this to say before the governor's speech.
The income tax pays for 1/3 of the overall general fund budget, more than $2 billion a year. Republicans haven't said how they would make up this amount or what they would cut.
Blunt says the economy has seen a windfall of federal money in recent years, and Mississippi will soon be back to where it's always been. The shower power warming shelter at Champion Gym filled quickly, and they will not turn anyone away, even if it means sleeping on the floor.
We try to make it as pleasant and hospitable as possible.
So many people came that they are now over capacity.
I think right now we are right at 150 people tonight.
Teresa Riekenberger says she's grateful people are coming to the shelter.
We traveled around the city and searched for everyone, and thankful that we found the ones that we found, and we're worried that there's so many others that we've missed.
Ramon Navarrete arrived at the shelter early on Tuesday.
I'm very blessed to be here. Thank God. Thanks. A lot better than being on the streets. It is going to get cold, super cold tonight.
And anyone who is unhoused or marginally housed is welcome.
Our goal number 1 is to keep people alive, and that's what we're going to try to do.
Some of the services people receive is a pillow, blanket, cot, and a shower. They also get 3 meals a day.
You won't go hungry. I promise you that.
Shower Power is asking for help
We have some gingerbread cookies in there, but they all gone.
by donating food.
Honey buns and and Pop-Tarts and chips and cookies and all the things that you would enjoy sitting around snacking on, our friends would enjoy as well.
They also have security 24/7 to keep everyone safe. For more information on how to help, you can go to our website at wjtv.com. Reporting in Jackson, Cameron Smith, 12 News. The league made the official announcement.
We're not going to get one team back, we're going to get 10 teams back.
This is a summer developmental league supporting collegiate baseball players. The league has 10 teams, and each team has a town or county, including Jackson.
Vicksburg, Warren County, Clinton, Pearl, Ridgeland, Richland, Madison, Brandon, Flowood.
Every game in the Legacy League we played right here at the Smith Wills Stadium, which is also home to the Hank Aaron Sports Academy.
So 10 teams will play double headers. We got artificial turf. We put in new lights. We're going to do some more work over the next year.
Giving collegiate players the chance to come to Jackson and keeping working on their game and not have to travel far once they get here.
That's a big plus, you know, home field advantage, I guess you could say. It's a big plus to be able to play at home and not travel that far.
This league will also attract international players.
I was on the phone with 3 or 4 of them this morning, so they are super excited. They used to say the way off the island was with a baseball bat, but in this instance, Columbia is not an island, but they know the way to success for a better life is here.
And each team will have some local players.
We'll take 3 graduating seniors that are from each one of the high schools that have teams, and then we'll also look at last year, if you had 3 kids that left here to go play ball, then obviously they're coming back home.
According to Commissioner Bennett, the league will focus on international diversity. 25% of each roster will consist of local guys, and the other 75% will consist of European American, minority, and internationals.
So when you look in our dugout, it's not going to look like any other dugout in the world. It's going to be a very diverse dugout.
The league begins in June of 2025 with a 40-game schedule. In Jackson, Cameron Smith, 12 News.